Okay. All right, so this one should be working. So that. Oh, they took the old link. Oh, that's so weird. Okay. Oh, yay! Okay, awesome. Oh, we're back. Isn't there like a YouTuber who's like known for being like, "Welcome back, welcome back, welcome back"? Like it's really. I've seen like a whole like meme compilation about that. Oh, I just saw 111. Yes. Okay, we are on the right path. All right, kiddies, welcome back. How's everyone doing? Happy Sunday, or potentially happy Monday, if you're like me. But who cares? Oh, yay! Okay, good. We got a good crowd. We got a couple people. See, we had at least 3, so I'm very grateful. And I thank you all for putting up with this crazy low video quality. I understand it's like the most random color, the most wild angle. But I appreciate you all tuning in for these live messages. It's a huge support, and I'm glad we can do a weekly overview together. So just kind of give folks a rundown of what I'm thinking to do today is I'll go through the weekly overview pretty much like normal, except I definitely am excited for like your feedback, your reactions, and then kind of like when we have some time, especially towards the end, we could definitely get like some one-on-one, some follow-ups, some feedback, do a couple little card pulls while we're on the air. So just kind of like make it worth your lovely viewing time. So how does that sound to folks? Well, I kind of like get to work and I'm shuffling the energy oracle cards. So the usual cards we start off with by Sandra and Taylor. We're going to do our energy oracles to try and see, okay, what is the main kind of situation or trajectory of the week according to spirit. I'm trying to think of how I'm going to do this one. So we'll see. All right, so let's see what messages you have for us for the weekly overview, please. And thank you, Spirit. Oh, that card really wants to. Let's do. All right, so that's the beginning of the week. Let's see what the middle of the week is looking like, and then I'm going to hold up the cards and then I'll narrate like normal. So let's see what the middle of the week holds. Please and thank you, Spirit. And how's everyone's weekend going? Any highlights? We're all living vicariously through each other during these quarantine days, so I guess it's good to share the highlights. Ooh. Beginning, middle. And we have one more for the end, please. So thank you. Nice. Good old lazy days. Honestly, I felt like pretty lazy this weekend as well. Like a friend came to visit. Oh, okay, we got the ending. Perfect. I had a friend who came visit this area, and it was super fun catching up. Thought it was just gonna be here Friday. Ended up staying for the weekend, and it was really nice, like conversation, chatting, and then kikiing with other people. But then I like up until today, like where I started to realize like my energy started to come back. Like I felt like super tired and just like needing to rest, needing to pause, and needing to kind of like come back in my body and like ground a bit. Like I felt that energy pretty heavy, I want to say Friday, Saturday. And then today, I started to feel the energy kind of coming back and being like, okay, let's focus this energy, let's direct it somewhere. Now I went along with just being chill and kind of riding with it because that's what was happening today with everyone that was around. But now that it's nighttime, I've been trying to like recalibrate, shift my energy, and refocus. So I actually did like a pretty long card spread and reading for myself earlier tonight, which was very, very helpful and empowering and also just motivating. So for all of y'all out there who do connect with your out in the beginning of your regular week, whatever that even means to you at this point, kicks off. I'm at a point where all the days have blended together, so I guess we're all in there. All right, y'all. So I have the energy oracle cards broken out for the week. So I decided to do kind of like beginning, middle, end, more or less, or kind of like what's the storyline that Spirit wants us to energy. I feel like we should start off with this to begin. So I apologize if there's some glare or if it's a little bit like in that reverse, but this is card number 10. It is storm warning. So we can see like a big old tornado in the middle of the card. Lightning is cackling out of it. It's like we see some columns that were clearly destroyed, messed up by the storm, taken down to the ground. It's like a raging storm. But it is interesting to me that it is over these columns that have like that very Greek goddess, god kind of like energy and feel. You know, when you see columns like this, you usually think of a more spiritual scene, spiritual place, thing of that nature, right? The good thing it is a 10, right? And this is storm warning. So this can go for me, the way I'm reading this, for the storm warning, even though the word warning kind of like makes us think of events to come or things up ahead, I'm gonna say based off of what some of y'all may be feeling like you are actually in the midst of the storm, or parts of this week are going to feel particularly on this beginning end. Oh, so yeah, this beginning part of our week. So whatever the first third to half of this week, at least, what it's going to feel like is we are in a storm, or maybe we've already kind of those energies as the storm dies down. But I am saying like I feel like the storm is a more present tense kind of energy or experience as opposed to like a far out warning. And I say that because, okay, so the cards of the week. So I'm going to kind of show you, and then I'm going to walk through, and I'll keep showing y'all multiple times throughout because I know it's not visually here, but just keep everything in mind and let it build off of each other. So the first card out for the week that popped out when I was shuffling, we had card. Let me put that up. Oh, yay. Okay, we got some resonance in the crowd. Awesome. But yeah, so you can see here's a figure. So when we read as a woman in all white, and she's holding up this mask in her hand, pondering, looking up at it, and then she's kind of like chained or attached to this little, almost like a little stand or post, if you will. I'm going to take a look at it for myself from face on. Post with a little bit of candlelight. Oh no, it looks like it should be candlelight, but it's not. But essentially, here she is in this very, very grayscale scene. She's trapped. She's like attached to something. She's chained to something. Around the card, it has this very ethereal, like gray area around. Like this is a very like. It almost seems like she's in limbo to me when I see this card. If that makes sense. There's very subtle green, kind of like ivy on the card, but with a lot of spider webs above and on top of it. So the fact that it's giving me a little bit of green and it builds off of that limbo message and saying like the green indicates that there's a little bit of life there, but it's not the most obvious or the most prominent thing. It's as if the overcast the grayness, the stagnation, that limbo sense is overriding things. So even when we think about limbo, it's people being caught in the in between, where it's like, well, in some cases, it's that their spirit won't pass on to whatever the next realm that it should be going into as far as not physical is concerned. But for others, there's a chance it can come back to life, like there is that vacillation. Um, but essentially, so homegirl is attached to this post, to this change. She's looking at this mask, and I'm getting the feeling she's trying to figure out, who do I want to be? What do I want to let go of? Who am I? Like, I'm getting this pondering. It's a number 5. So we know 5 is a number of transition, of change, of turning points, typically speaking. So I feel as though she's in this transitional phase, this transitional point of the journey, to be received and perceived and treated by the world. And is this idea of who I could be, or maybe she's worried about if it's an attachment, but this idea of who she's supposed to be, really questioning and wondering, like, does this serve me? Do I need this mask any longer? Do I even want to wear this? Does this authentically fulfill me? Does this bring me life? Does this bring me light or not? Otherwise, I probably want to let this go. So there's a big question I'm getting of this energy of like, who am I? Who do I want to be? And why? Like, what is driving that? Is that genuine to me internal souls and expectations, external attachments? Like, like, who am I allowing to inform this imagery of myself? Like, or this imagery of who I want to be or seek to be? It makes a lot of sense because obviously right now at this point in the world, in this time frame, so many of us are going inward, looking at who we want to be, who like, oh, thank y'all so much. Y'all are so loud. Y'all are so fire. Y'all are so fire. But yeah, I really feel like this attachment energy, it's a lot of self-reflective. And I feel as though, because I said that storm warning card, so for those of you who are just turning in, at the bottom of the deck, energy, the storm warning card, and I said I feel like this is less of a warning for most people of like what's to come versus like a confirmation of something that's either kind of like going on in the moment, it feels like, or is a very recent past where the dust is settling of the storm. Like, I feel like this is something that's either actively happening or coming towards the close, or at the very least, very recently came towards the close. And now that the storm is kind of going on, it's breaking down foundations. Because look, these are columns, that whole Greek spiritual imagery. But what I'm getting now that I'm thinking on it and speaking on it is like a lot of people in the collective are going through these spiritual activations and awakenings right now. Like, we know this is very common, so I'm not claiming to be a novel reader with that. But a lot of it, what is coming through for people to see, whoever is turning into it, to this message, a lot of it is to say, like, yes, a lot of your foundations and paradigms are being rocked, shifted, broken down. I feel like for a lot of us, spiritually speaking, like a lot of what is old is being cleared away. Even if you don't identify as being previously very spiritual, even that what you perceive as a lack of foundation still is a foundation to be overcome and now filled with this new spiritual information and opportunities. So I think it's now the storm kind of came in, and I feel like this is a very spiritual storm for some reason, but the spiritual storm kind of came in. It rocked your foundations. It's clearing out things that no longer serve you, paradigms, foundations, structures that really don't help you get to the next level or keep you in your highest vibration on your path. And now, as you're kind of undergoing this storm, depending on how consciously aware of it or you're not, at the very least, there's likely that's where the attachment's coming in. That's having you question who you are, who you want to be, what standards, what expectations are you accountable to or not. The thing is, some of y'all may be really over it. I mean, many people are, especially when they are going through a storm, when they're going through spiritual activation, things of that period. And I say that because then the following card, so the one right after attachment, is we got patience. Okay, is this number 16? Yep, this is card number 16. Okay, And this here we see this angel, and I apologize for the glare and the low quality of this webcam. There's a big old clock right there in the middle of the chest of this winter-looking angel, okay? So it's important to know on the clock, the time actually reads 10:10. So I know all my numerology and or tarot people are probably like freaking out, being like, oh my God, 10:10. Yes, 10:10. And for me, whenever I see this angel with this 10:10, especially when there's an optimistic card or a positive card near it, I like to, and obviously this is a very intentional manifestational thought or directive to choose. But for me, especially when I see this card near a positive one, I think of the energy of Ten of Cups, Ten of Pentacles, for those of you who know the tarot, which are the more positive and celebratory tens that indicate emotional fulfillment as well as like financial fulfillment, tangible fulfillment. And so for y'all, either way, the message is patience. So that means and it gives the winter. So for me, this gives that whole energy of changing of the seasons. Like we are going through the process where something is undergoing that ending. We're accepting it. We're reviewing it. We're analyzing it. We're taking the lessons. We're gathering what's up from the harvest. We're completing the harvest. We are learning the lessons. We're figuring out what serves us versus not. Do we meet the mark? If yes, how? If not, also why not? How can we improve? How can we do better? And even if we hit the mark, okay, how do we replicate this for future success? And is there still any room for improvement? Sorry. Whew. Okay. So that is card 16, right? Just to back it up to numbers. So 1 plus 6 is a 7. 7 is a spiritual information, a spiritual download, a spiritual activation, spiritual awakening number. Like when you get a 7, usually means like spirit, the universe, your guides, your ancestors, whatever resonates for you, is streaming like this information to you that is going to bring some noticeable change to your world, to your life sooner than later. Like it means this is a spiritually guided situation or time period. And I know there's the argument like everything is, and of course it is, but there are times in which we are more actively in our free will versus I find that spirit is more actively trying to like push us in a certain direction or guide us to a certain place. And I feel like this whole reading started off with a spiritual storm, a spiritual energy of things being closed out, cleared away. I feel like now you're being spiritually guided with the 7 card of patience. It's saying like the winter moment is coming to a close. You're moving into the springtime. The abundance is coming here for you. Like the spring shift of the season is likely going to yield some positive rewards or results for you. At the very least, some very positive things are going to come to light, and you're going to be standing and building upon a brighter and most likely more fulfilling foundation. And I say that because the last card of the week, the last card in this round of the spread, is we get card number 1 from this oracle, and this is the Sun card in this deck. This is a very bountiful and abundant card. It has themes of obviously abundance and growth, but we also get the theme of new life. And I say that because there's a baby in this card, kind of like floating to the side, which indicates new life. I like to think about the rebirth and new life imagery of like the main character in the card is like bursting up from the water, but coming out and it looks like refreshed, revitalized, like getting new air, new warmth, new light. And there's the lotus on there, which shows like this is abundance. I mean, clearly there's a lot of fertility imagery on the card too, with like the budding flowers. The other thing about this is the creative elements to it. So there is like a trumpet or some kind of horn on this card to like express oneself, creative expression, tuning into that throat chakra. These are also like pages over here, so that indicates to me either creative writing, journaling, expression through the written word. I know there's also paintbrushes somewhere on this card. Just can't see it from this angle. And there's a floating goldfish, and fish can represent a lot of abundance and plenty as well. And gold, obviously, is a very attractive color. So, oh, and yeah, there's definitely a butterfly on this, as well as a bird, which represents spiritual messenger and guidance. Multiple birds. So the good thing is like this is really getting asthma, I love it. So to kind of see your week, you know, from bottom of the deck energy and then start to finish thus far before we get into the tarot storyline that we'll pull some cards for. I find that some of you all most likely have gone through some situations past few days, or maybe this is what's going to play out for this week, right? That's what I should be saying. But what's likely happening around this time, give or take a little bit, take what resonates with what doesn't, is there's the storm moment, the paradigm is being rocked, foundation shifted. You're really looking at like, what am I connected to? What serves me versus not? Who do I want to be? Who does this serve? What is in alignment with my truth, my greatest purpose? And how quickly can I like free myself from the situation? So some of it is also being mindful, like it is a process to change. It is a process to transform. So you've got to like be willing to go with the flow of it. Stay diligent, stay focused, understand that the rewards are coming. Things are just taking a little bit more time to align and fall into the rightful place, but understand that it's on the right path. Like, so I know you may be feeling like super attached and you're like, I want to be fully free. But the thing is like spirit and the universe is clearing out what's in the way so that you can get closer and closer to freedom. Like more things have to break so this final chain can break. But trust and believe, she's not tightly bound here. It's not that deep. And I also said there's some green poking through underneath the gray of this card. So that new lush life is flowing and coming up and through soon enough. So you just got to stay the course, because if you do so and you stay positive, focusing on what you want, the sun card here is promising very abundant, beautiful, fulfilling manifestations, creative expression, creative fulfillment, new life. For those of you who it may resonate with, you know, I always say when there's babies involved in abundance and fertility, that could be a call for pregnancy for those who it is applicable to. Other people, it's just pregnancy of ideas or opportunities. But if it is you, as far as pregnancy with babies especially, congratulations. So now what we're going to do is, to keep this rolling, because I did like a little long one on that oracle, so we're going to get some Archangel Power Tarot clarifiers. What I'm going to do is I'm going to use these tarot cards to clarify some of the energy oracles, and before I could even specify which one I wanted to clarify specifically, one just flew out, so I will keep that. The spirit has something to say. But I actually, so what I want to do is first with the Archangel Power Tarot, I want to clarify the attachment card that we were dealing with. Like, what does spirit want to call our attention to as far as attachments? I think that would be really helpful. Oh, I know, right? Like one day, I definitely want to be a parent. Well. I might as well show this card. So as far as the card that did pop out, by the way, it's tarot. It is the Two of Gabriel, which equates to the Two of Wands in the traditional tarot. The tagline reads, make bold and ambitious choices. Great progress is possible. Important relationships with people who share your vision. And so in this one, we see Archangel Gabriel, who looks like she's flying in and floating above a picture of the earth, of the world. And here are these two handsome dudes walking in like almost like this sphere or this bubble of light underneath a rainbow, kind of traversing and traveling along a beach, like on a little adventure, okay? And when I think of the Two of Wands, it's kind of like you have two different directions you could be walking into. You're trying to figure out which way to travel, which way to go next, like which direction to take a step in and continue your journey. Sometimes it can have a little bit of a crossroads energy, but usually because it is, or I should say because it is wands, it is fire, that typically is calling us back to our passions. to our fire, like what lights us up, what gives us the greatest and highest excitement, highest fulfillment, like what really speaks to you and moves you, really wants to move your spirit and drive your spirit. So this card just flew out before I even did any of the clarifiers. So I do believe this Two of Wands energy is actually building upon like this attachment energy, and I was going to clarify attachment next, which is funny, but I think it's building upon the attachment energy in the sense of trying to figure out, okay, what direction you want to go in, who you want to be, who you want to be with. Is this a travel companion that you want to stick around with anymore? If this is somebody that's already been present in your life, or is this someone possibly new who could take you in a new direction, show you somewhere new? If you're feeling spirit guides, because you know your spirit team, your intuition, your gut instinct, that will put you in the direction that you kind of need to go in more confidently. But let's see what else we're getting clarified for the 5 card, the attachment. Please and thank you. All right, let's see what else. And I feel like, you know what, there must be some nerves in the air because I shouldn't be feeling like nervous. I'm feeling pretty good. But I'm like, ooh, yes, liminality. Okay, yes, yes, love it. And I'm feeling like, yeah, if anybody is feeling a little bit nervous or like stuck or like, because I'm feeling a little bit slowed down, a little bit more nervous and like stuck with some parts of the reading, and I'm like, I'm okay. I prepared before I did this. Like, I'm feeling pretty good. So I think it's the energy of the reading that's coming through. And I had 2 cards pop out as I was shuffling to clarify the attachment. One directly on top of the other. I feel like this arrangement is very, very on point. So this is clearly, this is good. This is confirmed to me. This is already confirming a lot of what's coming out through the energy oracle read. So the cards that popped up first, we have the 3 of Michael. This is the 3 of Swords. So for those of y'all who are used to this in the traditional tarot, here we see somebody who's crying in the arms of Archangel Michael, letting Archangel Michael hold them, comfort them. This is a card typically associated with heartbreak. The tagline of this deck reads, release the past. You will grow from this situation. Time heals all wounds. So like I said, this person is crying in the arms of Archangel Michael, letting Archangel Michael provide healing, provide comfort. So if some of y'all are feeling like heartbroken, stuck, attached, like for some of y'all, like this came out on the attachment card. So if some of y'all are feeling attached to either someone you love or love interest from the past or a memory of a love of someone that you love, and I was talking about attachment to like ways of being before, right? Like who we are, who we want to be. So essentially, with this heartbreak card kind of coming out and adding onto this, I feel like some of y'all are definitely in this sense of mourning and releasing. And what could have happened for some of the people in the collective in this group is if there was a recent, and yes, I said this storm warning, but I felt like this was either about to happen or the recent past. So I feel like if some of y'all were in some kind of connection or some kind of relationship, some kind of situationship in which there was an ending that like, you know, caused some heartbreak on your part, like this is the confirmation. It is okay, like release your tears, release your emotions, let your spirit guides help you, your spiritual team. It's all in non-judgment. Like I want to like confirm like not just the heartbreak, but I want to confirm that your heart is healing. Like this release is good for you. Like you can choose to stay attached to these things, but you really have the chance to let it go. Like it does not serve you. You don't need to be in pain anymore. You can truly be free. I'm not saying the healing may be overnight or instantaneous for everyone, but it is worth it. And if you are patient, it's going to pan out really well. Like if you possess the patience, the second card of the energy oracle, I have faith that this is going to turn out very well for you. And I feel even more confident for things turning out well for you putting in this work to heal your heart, to let things go, to not sit in jealousy, to not sit in possessiveness, to allow your mind to release the things and the swords that do not serve you. All of that because underneath that three of Michael, look, we have the ace of Ariel. This is the ace of coins, the ace of pentacles. Aces are always gifts of the universe, gifts from the divine. So an ace of pentacles, I'll read the tagline for you. It's your lucky day, new resources of money, time, or support, a change in job or promotion. So this is amazing because essentially that means you're going to get some kind of gift that is really going to be very positive for you this week, and it's going to be, or hopefully this week, but it's going to be very positive for you on the 3D in your physical world, tangibly. For a lot of people, the coin suit, the pentacle suit does refer to finances and money, which is why I was talking about changing job or promotion. But you could just be getting like some really nice gifts. You could be getting offered a new work partnership or collaboration or a venture or a project. So I want us to think like creatively and not only like traditional job, right? But essentially, there's going to be something that's going to result in a tangible benefit and a boost in your life that's going to come. This was underneath the Three of Swords. So my whole thing is like, I'm getting the sense of offer up your pain, your heartbreak, your suffering, whatever it is you need released, transmuted, and healed. Like literally offer this up to your spiritual team, to your guides. You could use Archangel Michael if it resonates, if they resonate with you. But offer that up, and like once you do that and you let that healing in and you release what no longer serves you, like this blessing is here for you. Like this tangible blessing is here. There's really like no other way to put it, which is a good thing. I don't think I need to belabor that one much. That's pretty amazing. All right, so you know what? I want to take a little bit more tarot. I just want to see where Spirit wants to continue the story, because I feel like it started off right at the beginning with the attachment, letting things go, started off with Three of Swords, went into the Ace of Pentacles. So I want to just see if there's anything else that Spirit has for us to clarify with the tarot cards before I get into the messages from the angels. Oh, nice. Okay, let's see. Yes, and definitely like if this isn't resonating a lot with other people, like please, take what does, leave what doesn't. A lot of the way I read predominantly focuses on the individual who's tuning into the reading, but there's some times where I feel like if things are showcasing a lot of external energies or there's the potential, I'll report on it for the collective. And I really appreciate you sharing this, Kian, because it is important for people to hold space for both. Sometimes I feel like you get a reading and there's this temptation to like try and make someone or something else fit or apply it to something or someone else when it really can stay internal, and then vice versa. So I appreciate you bringing that into space. All right, let's see what else I want. Yeah, I want one more clarification, one more continuation of the story, please, Spirit. Please, and thank you. Nice. Oh, wow. Okay. This is dope. Ooh, okay. All right, so got some clarifications for you. So the next two parts of the story, I have the Knight of Gabriel, the Knight of Wands that pops out. Okay. And then I have card number 15, Major Arcana Decision. So I'll read them. Yay! Okay, good. I'm glad it's like super helpful and resonant and you're getting what you need. Yes. Oh my God, that's so awesome. All right, so for the Knight of Gabriel or the Knight of Wands, okay, so for those of you who want subscription first, time to take action, great passion for a cause, instinctively knowing what to do. The traits associated with this one are confident, enthusiastic, courageous, charismatic. So I'm gonna come back and break this down into it. The next card we had was card number 15, the Decision, Archangel Jophiel. This card in traditional tarot associates with the devil. Now don't panic. The description of this one says, release yourself from that which holds you back. A need to detox, unnecessary worry based on a lack of self-confidence. When I think of this card in traditional tarot, the devil card, it's usually, so it's like everything like this card is just saying with the conventional meanings that it just offered us. But I always like to think about the devil is just a manifestation of essentially our fears and or our giving away of power. Like the devil only has power that we give away. That's why in the traditional tarot, you see people who are in very loose chains and that they could free themselves. It's just a matter of not focusing on the big devil in front of them that's intimidating them, scaring them, causing problems, whatever. And it's like focusing inward, tapping back into one's power, really looking at what's truly there in front of them, fighting through the illusions of the mind and letting things go, as well as not allowing addictions and vices and temptations to run and to rule their life. In this card deck, we see Archangel Jophiel is holding up a bird cage, and here are all these different birds of different colors flying free, but there's that one still in there, still in the cage, and it has the choice of freeing itself or not, letting itself go or not, making the decision. And then so we're going to stick with that theme about letting yourself go, because bottom of the deck, we have the 8, and in this deck, this is the Justice card, okay? So this is the Scales. This is Archangel Rodwell. Fight for justice and equality. Rulings made in your favor. Don't give up. This is the bottom of the deck energy, Justice. So bottom of the energy oracle deck was the Storm Warning. Bottom of the tarot deck, the Archangel Power Tarot, is Justice. And so based off of that bottom of the deck energy with those two right there, and then I'm feeling like, okay, the universe is definitely coming in and is, of course, taking note of who did what. It's a little bit of karmic calculation, if you will, by the universe, saying like, essentially, okay, what are people putting out there so they get that back in return? For you on the individual level, it's like if this storm event is just happened or is happening and coming to the close, the universe is coming in to weigh the scales and kind of doling out just rewards, and things will be in your favor provided your energy and your karmic alignment has been on point. So essentially, as long as you're not doing anything with the intention of being shitty and harmful and selfish or anything negative and low vibration, you can look forward to some good rewards coming in for you, okay? Your intentions are good to be doing the right things, evolving, healing, that you will get signs, gifts, synchronicities, and confirmations that will kind of like take that to the next level. Remember, the Ace of Pentacles or the Ace of Ariel is coming in for you soon this week, once it was right behind that Three of Swords for releasing a lot of that heartbreak, doing a lot of that healing. So good things are coming to you. However, I believe with these cards, with the call to action of the Knight of Wands, and then the specificity given by this Decision card with Archangel Jophiel, for me, this is really pointing out where we started off with that Two of Wands energy, where I said, really focusing on who do you want to spend time with, which direction you want to go, and where do you want to put your focus, where you want to put your energy. Like, where and how are you following your passions or what's calling you? That is what needs to guide you, because you're going to be in some kind of, because you're in the place of this decision. Look, these both are cards that have to do with, like, if you think about it, some decision-making energy and definitely the senses of attachment. Here we see someone actually attached by a chain to a pole. Here's a bird in a cage, okay? The thing is, even though you can't see it in very high quality on this card, on the post, the chain that we see connected to her arm is not the chain right here, right in front. It's actually behind the bend. So we don't know how tight or how secure the bolt is on whatever end of this damn pole she's attached to. So we don't know if this is actually like an old enough space where if she gave a good tug, that shit could pop right the hell off. Pardon me for being so blunt. But she could theoretically free herself. But right now, if you notice, anyway, most of her attention is focused upon the mask itself and thinking about the mask, pondering the mask, pondering about how she wants to come off, what is her image, what is her energy, what is the reputation, like who she wants to be in the world. So right now she's literally thinking more about like who do I want to be before then I break free and then be that individual or be that person, right? Okay. So this is doing a lot of contemplation of who do I actually want to be? Like I'm attached to the shit of the past, but the part of the reason why I haven't fully broken away from it is because I'm still caught thinking about who I want to be next. So for some of y'all, if you don't go and break yourself free, what's probably going to happen is the universe is coming in and breaking things down and causing you more or less to really have to face breaking yourself free. It's like if you're not doing the work and following the signs that could have had you like maybe reevaluate these paradigms or structures of your own accord, the universe and spirit's like, fine, we're coming in here to do it for you. You will always have a certain level of free will and choice in the sense of like spirit can't force you to be someone else, but it's really calling your attention to with this decision card being like, okay, do you want to basically live under the control of the devil, i.e., do you want to give away your power to someone and or some things that do not serve you, that keep you in lower vibration, or at the very least keep you distracted and disconnected from your highest light, from your most confident self, from your best life? Um, like you have to decide, like, do you want to be empowered, autonomous, and free? Do you want to join all your other like multicolored other like birds out here that are given all the chakras of alignment where everyone has a distinct energy, yet they're going to fly and flock together? It's your call. Or do you want to stay stuck in that page, Ooh, stuck in that cage, and disconnected from the flock and the other energy that could be supporting and uplift you? Really your choice. I said stuck on that page. I don't know if any of you are having writer's block, but definitely express yourself. That I feel like that's important to say. But yeah, so it's like all of this like idea of figuring out like making the decision. Like you got to make a decision and make it fast because the universe is here tallying up the scales. Like justice is here. So essentially, the universe is weighing out the evidence, seeing what's on the table, what's been submitted into evidence, what's on the docket, so to speak, as far as court is concerned. It is an 8, so that is going to require you to have a level of strength. Like you're going to need to tap into your strength, especially if you want to manifest the positive results, if you want to manifest abundance, which is also associated with 8. It's like you've got to tap into your divine strength, your unique strength. It is important also, it just popped in my mind, and so I have to say it. So 1 + 5 for the decision card, Archangel Jophiel, aka the devil. This adds up to a 6. So remember, whenever I talk about sixes, for me, sixes have to do a lot with like harmony and peace, but in the context of relationships. Now, I always say this can involve our relationship with ourself, meaning like what is our self-image, our self-talk, and our self-esteem? How are we really interacting, going within, and are we like reflecting and communicating with ourselves in ways that serve us and uplift us? Or are we kind of always being our own worst friend, our own harshest critic, breaking ourselves down? Like, what is our self relationship? Then, for others, if it is relevant and applicable in your life, it also does call attention to what is your relationships with people in your life, in your spheres of influence, in your close circles, what have you. Um, I do feel like there is a level of this connection and relationship energy for people out there, not inherently just intimate partnership. I'm saying relationship in the sense of I feel like even though the bulk of this reading is definitely focusing on y'all as individuals, especially because that's my typical intention as a reader, is to focus on the viewer. But I do feel like for some of y'all, these attachments and things that you're doing all this work to heal and cut yourself free from, what likely had to do with some of this heartbreaking energy, is involving other people and parties. Okay, like for some of y'all out there, hands down. We had it because the devil card in the traditional tarot also shows like two people who are chained to the devil, but they're kind of experiencing it together, and it could represent a toxic relationship sometimes. But also we have the 8 of Justice, which this is Archangel Raguel. And from what I know about Archangel Raguel, very important archangel to call in when you are dealing with a lack of harmony in a relationship, when you're dealing with tension, when you're dealing with drama. Like when you want to find a peaceful resolution for all parties involved, if you want things to go well for all parties involved, if you just want peace with somebody else and you just want the bullshit, the drama, the pain, the stuff, Archangel Raguel is all about that. Like Archangel Raguel comes in with the scales, brings peace as well. So it's everything is fair, but it's like about making things really shanti, like lower key, like no, we're gonna calm it down. This doesn't necessarily need to be like full blown warfare. Like we're gonna get to the good stuff. Okay, like there's enough pain and drama in the world. We don't need more. So if you feel like you want this mission of peace between you and someone else, yes, you want fairness, but you also are very much tuned to for peace, letting go of the ego. You don't want to face any more of the BS. Call in Archangel Raguel. I mean, they're here for you. You know, the universe has brought this card here for a reason. I just definitely one for me that was about making your decision, following your passion, and not dwelling. Like you gotta follow it. Yeah, it says instinctively knowing just what to do. It's about tapping into your instincts, really listening to your. I feel like for exactly what to. Like you know what are some of the things in which you probably want or feel called to free yourself, capturing your passion, your excitement, and your attention, like what's really like bringing you in that direction versus the things from the past that are bringing more of the heartbreak. The things from the past, bring yourself of devil energies. So that could be being mindful of over. So freeing yourself from that from those energies and understand you are spiritually supported so that your manifestations can come through. Let me just read this and that's Oh, thank you so much for sharing, Roche. And you know, like a lot of this, um, a lot of these things, you know, some of it really just comes along the way. Like sometimes I feel like there's this, let me do this first, let me do that first. I think obviously promoting the self love and self discovery is always like key. So the fact that you're doing that is amazing and really on point. And I find like honestly, there's certain places and spaces where we're meant to do a lot of our self discovery, and then the other things fall into place as we undergo that journey and healing. Um, I don't know where you are in regards to your choice of university, if like you have to make it right now or what's helping you decide. But I don't know, maybe we could have something that can help you with that at some point. I hope so. Like which one gives you the best feeling? Where could you see yourself thriving the most? And versatility and adaptability for you. You know, it could going okay, I'm not gonna say logistically it's not full slay. So we still have to say kind of close. Please have a supportive message in regards to the theme of attachment in particular. Can we have so interesting. Okay. All right, so first angel out is a happy pregnant. With this card, there could be coming in. Because you know, not everybody is going to be in a place in life where I think it's going to involve a pregnancy or a baby. because I've gotten this card all the time, or like something like that. Some of this, it can refer to like a new household member in the sense of like if y'all are moving or dealing with roommates, that could be something really positive, especially if y'all are either needing a roommate at this time or you're wanting to get to a better like living environment, something that more positive and healthy and fulfilling like connection and relationship coming in. Like for me, this is like I am the angel of families. A happy change or addition is coming to your family, and it's like even higher energy above her. And so for me, this is a call that a download that just came through, and this may be for y'all. This could also represent connecting that level of connection. So don't limit it only into thinking of like gaining children or a sibling or something. Sometimes this could really just mean we are a relationship come up and come through. That's going to help pivot. I think this is positive, not just in the sense of like, universal, like, oh, you're moving on your mission. This is positive for you in the sense of like, okay, this is where you grow, but while you're living it, you're in absolute hell. No, I think this is like genuinely positive. Like this is going to be experienced as positive and enjoyable here on the 3D. All right. So now let's see what other angels we've got. So messages from angels, please and thank you. May we please have a message of an angel in regard to more. Please and thank you. Yeah, angel in regard to the storm warning. Yeah. Okay. So we got Teresa. Time of like really don't rush the process. Like the healing is here for you. The healing is going on. Yeah, like I definitely mentioned the whole thing of like, so at this point, I'm getting a lot of like importance of self-care, self-compassion, and then analyzing what are you attached to and what do you need to let go of. And Spirit's gonna keep guiding you along the way and putting you in the. All right, so final angel of support, whatever message the angels want to say, I want to strip, please and thank you. Get a message from the angel. Oh, we are not taking all of those. I'm gonna take the one that really hit my finger. And then also, so final angel that I pulled was Rochelle. As you honor and follow the guidance of your heart, prosperity is coming to you now. I love when this one comes out. What a beautiful message. So for your angels, just to recap, we started with Seraphina saying a happy change or addition is coming to your family. Teresa told us to pause, to time out, take a time out, to rest, to restore, to make sure that we are nourishing and nurturing ourselves, to make sure that we are filling our own cup and not just running on empty, tending to everyone else's cup, trying to fill theirs up at our own expense. It's time to operate from the overflow. I say this all the time. But here's a reminder, because we all need this reminder, especially for those of us who default to being givers, nurturers, caretakers, that sort of energy. And then the last angel we got is Rochelle. Following the guidance of your heart leads to prosperity. Okay? For it. And that was the whole weekly overview spread. So to kind of give us like a little final summation based off of what I'm reading it. Let me just take a look. Especially because this Two of Wands card is like a top down in the beginning. So I'm going to say for the purpose of this week is, well, for the purpose of this week, summary of this week. Bottom of the deck, we had the storm warning. So some of y'all are either coming towards the end of a storm right now, is what I felt, or and some of y'all are actively like feeling it. Some of y'all just had it end, like a storm. Some of y'all are going through the ending right now. Either way, Spirit is basically calling you to the attention, like the ending is happening. So be patient as things settle into the rightful place, as you take stock of what is where after the storm is passing, kind of assessing the damage, noting what structures remain, which and which don't. Take that time, take the inventory, take the time to rest, to go within and really heal and see what's left versus not. Some of y'all, that damage wasn't just like the universe bringing a situation in per se, but it could feel like very much connected with another person, some heartbreak. So allow your time to really release it, let it go. You don't need to let yourself be haunted and attached to this stuff, especially much longer. If you're feeling confused, it's okay. The healing is underway. Ask your spiritual team for support and for guidance. They're here for you. And essentially, where you put your energy and your focus is really determinant as to whether or not opportunities and rewards are going to flow to you, because they really do. With the Ace of Ariel or Ace of Coins confirmation, we had the Sun card, and then this Knight of Wands or this Knight of Gabriel really was showing me like following your instincts and taking action will pan out very well for you. So really, sorry, just stuttered. And Rochelle also stated, as you honor and follow the guidance of your heart, prosperity is coming to you now. So I find what's probably happening is folks are like hurting, feeling connected from the past, having a hard time focusing, having a hard time getting their mind right. But for those of y'all who do, who kind of put in that effort, who persevere, who really pivot their attention and don't let the devil energies or don't kind of keep themselves trapped in the cage, your rewards will be very awesome. And for those of you who do struggle, understand Spirit's always here too. So I'm not going to say that I'm not going to set it up where like you're going to suffer. Like I don't want anyone to worry. It's just a matter of the more we surrender, the more we intentionally cooperate with the universe, the better it goes. Right. So I think those are I think that's your key takeaways. But yeah, how was that for folks? For those of you who are still there on the line and who have been able to hang in there, I know that was a full reading. Would love to know where people are at on the page. And then maybe I'll do a couple of random card pulls before we call it. Oh, yay. Thank you, Brosh. Oh, that's so awesome. Okay. Is anybody else out there too? I'm wondering what I want to pull a card on, like for the extra section. I don't think I'm allowed to. Yeah, I have no way of knowing who's there. I just get like a little number that says like 4. Let's see. Time. There we go. Any questions for the week before we close? Mm-hmm. Yeah, I know. Whenever I get like any of these like little, even when I do a self poll, I'm always like, oh my gosh, I have a lot to process. And then I always feel that way after I do like one of the longer spreads for like weekly messages or whatnot. If only I could decide what I'm deciding on. Do y'all want a numerology? Like I can pull a number for this deciding on, or reframing. Okay, I got a yes. So I got verbal consent. Let's do it. All right, Kian, we're gonna pull a card for you. All right, so we'll do Kian first, and then we'll do Roche. All right, so Kian, let's see what the numerology guidance has to say in regards to maybe giving you a clue or some context on what you need to decide on and what area to focus for the decisions, or just some guidance for the decisions, please and thank you. Numerology Oracle. Maybe receiving insight to the unconditional love and highest clarity. And what insights do you have? Yes, it's interesting. Okay. Oh, this one's funny. Okay, Kian. Orange background. Elements. So we know that deals with creativity, intuition, and healing energy center, right? So this card is called Intuition, and it's a 22. So with the master builder number, on the one hand, we know 2 + 2 = 4, which is about foundation, structure, stability, right? And then the 2 is all about masculine and feminine energies. It could be about peace. It's about duality. It could be about partnership. It could be about, like, I said masculine and feminine, but like the energies and sussing out, are they in balance or not? And if not, how do we balance them? How, if we are lacking in any one area, how do we bring it more in for, for our benefit, for fulfillment of our alignment or our purpose? But essentially, when I got this card popping out for you, 22 Intuition, to me, this is basically, especially because I was shuffling, asking Spirit, okay, what do you need to be deciding on? What area to focus on? So the fact that this came out from Spirit, and this is what they want me to say, is like, this is really going to come in a lot on with your introspection time and you tapping a lot into your gut instincts, going inward. Maybe spending time focusing on the sacral chakra will help with that, especially because I was guided to that one based off of the color and the placement in the body. And that is a huge intuitive center. I know, I mean, all the chakras are matter, but a lot of times when we think of intuition, like, a lot of people jump up to the third eye, and I'm like, don't sleep on the sacral chakra. Like, you know what I mean? Especially if you're trying to get some good insight on, like, making a decision about something, perhaps the yeah, yeah. I love that. I love that encoding. Yes, I feel that. Because, like, when I shuffled it, I was like, okay, Spirit, so you don't want neither of us to really know full T on what area. It's like I felt like when that card popped out, to be quite honest, Spirit was like, they were basically like, no, this is Kian's homework. Kian's gonna figure this one out. Like, you're being helpful, but reality, you need to guide them back to their own intuitive voice and spirit, and they're gonna sit. They're gonna take this time out that we told Teresa to give. Yes, that's what I'm feeling. All right. So now let me shuffle a card for you, Roche. Let's do that. Figure out what Spirit wants you to have to decide on. Please, thank you, Spirit, guys. Let's go forward. Thank you so much, Spirit, guys, for your time. You're done. Spirit, guys, Roche. Please step forward. Thank you so much. Please, thank you. And then we'll all be guiding to have the Roche. Yeah, Roche is trying to break us again. That. How about me? Okay. So for Roche, let's see. 56. and it's relationship change. So this is all blue. Yeah, this is all blue. The Merkabah's a little bit borderline getting in the turquoisey area, but still blue. So 5 plus 6, we got an 11. We know 11 is another master number. I like to think of 11s as portals, that's why everybody makes wishes through them. But even like a 1 and a 1, 1 is manifestation oriented. This also makes sense. So with the 5 and the 6 changing point, and then 6 being a number that I associate a lot. Seeing in this deck, like that the numbers right next to each other are signifying relationship change when you look at it energetically. Wow. This is going to involve a lot of conversation and communication based on your relationship changing your connection with somebody. This is probably going to be a lot of communication. This could tie into Seraphina's message and energy, by the way, like a change in the family, change. Yeah, happy change or additions come to your family. I feel like maybe it's tying into that. But whatever this change is that Spirit wants to point out for you, it's probably going to involve like some sorry, I'm just thinking. Like I feel like, especially based off of the reading, I feel like this change and what's going down and what's happening, it is going to bring about peace. Like I feel like this is leading to a positive direction. I think the biggest thing though is to make sure just obviously all you can do is control yourself, but really set the standard and conduct yourself with as much honesty and integrity as possible. Of course, be compassionate. Like I'm not saying be blunt and like cut someone with your word, but really be honest and speak your full truth. Like while you're best interest, so long as you're open and honest about it. And I don't know, Rochelle also popped into my mind again, so just bringing up her message, like as you follow the guidance of your heart, prosperity is to you. I know sometimes when we hear the word prosperity, a lot of times we do think tangible, we do think the Ace of Pentacles, the Ace of Coins, the 3D. I think that's part of it. Prosperity and abundance is like a flowing in of like you can be prosperous not just tangibly, but like prosperous in regards to your connection, your friendships, the reliability, the resources you have by virtue of being connected with the people that love you in life, right? Like, oh, yes, okay, yeah. So you're on point. So you keep doing that, then you should be good. Like I think the big thing, I do feel like that honesty component is what's going to help prevent that attachment energy. Because it's like when we're not speaking our full truth or our full thoughts or being honest with ourselves along with others, it's giving like a key to freedom kind of energy. Could still have yet to reveal themselves because these are the weekly messages that we are checking in at this point in time, and there is that whole angelic patience. So some things are gonna like come through. Like when I saw this Two of Wands card, I instantly, because I saw these two dudes together, maybe it was just my queer projection, but I really was getting energy like when I saw them. I was like, being mindful of like, which direction, which path you want to take, and also who do you want to walk it with? Like, who do you want at your side? Is this somebody that's a good fit for you or not? I think that's where a lot of the intuition will kick in for a lot of people if they don't already have somebody who's like a healthy fit by their side right now. But I do think there is a lot of this weighing of relationships, checking relationships going on for the general collective, in addition to what y'all had, independently, because we also had Archangel Rockwell with the scales. So this is very on point. So this is just calling your attention, I guess, to some more specific areas, and then reminding you just about the whole throat chakra speaking. But yeah, how was that, y'all? glad you're hype. I'm glad you're feeling it. Oh my god, this is what I live for. Oh, and I think you all so much for allowing me to do this because I'm gonna be really honest. I was caught in between like this huge desire where I really want to read, I want to be disciplined, but I just admittedly did not have the energy to do a full blown like recording and then staying up late to upload and edit. Like I just couldn't do it. So then I was like, let me balance going live so this way, you know, I honor my discipline, my habit, we get the messages out for folks. It could be more fun because I have your loving support. So it's possible you helped motivate me, you helped carry me through, you dealt with like crazy hair and this crazy data connection that I have while in India in quarantine by and allowing me to serve. So I am just something of just sorry, I'm like reading out loud. Thank you so much, Kia. You know, I really appreciate that. I definitely Spirit has definitely been guiding me a lot on releasing perfectionism. That was one of my biggest blocks, which is why I didn't even start going on YouTube in 2019 because I was just like procrastinating due to perfectionism. So I think I'm just super grateful to have y'all and have people out here who are providing me the affirmation and support to be more comfortable with like, I don't know, the roughing it or the more rugged editions and understanding that like it doesn't need to be picture perfect, you know, all the time. And that you can still have something quality come from it in these more rugged methods. So having the support is, I'm just super grateful. Y'all are encouraging me, making sure I don't fall off the wagon or quit. And not that I was like going to, but I kind of like, ooh, I'm feeling energy tingles. I'm feeling it. This is working. But what I was gonna say is like earlier when I did my self pull and reading, not to make this all about me or drag it out. What I can say is it was just really encouraging me to keep working on my projects, keep working on abundant insights, don't quit. Like even if I haven't seen like the tangible, like as many tangible rewards as I could have hoped, it's like keep going because like whenever these things basically I feel like whatever the abundance is supposed to start flowing in or whenever the progress is really gonna start like I feel like it's gonna be like a big domino effect or kind of like a windfall, essentially. How this week plays out for y'all. Bikian, that's amazing. And you have to tell me more about your daily offering because I need to get more consistent like in doing daily work and I'm always curious about like different offering. I'm not like super formal, you know, where I'm like only like trying to find like certain things I have to buy for a deity to even do anything with them. Like I'm just like not pouring into that way and not that place in life. So I definitely love to hear about that. And as far as like inspiring you to start your channel, like yes, please, like do it. I am more than here for you, more than willing to offer support. Anytime you have questions, like I'm no expert, I'm just learning a lot, literally day by day. I am learning while doing, making mistakes, keeping it really low budget, but then trying to like make investments when I can. But yeah, anything I can do to help so that will free you from the procrastination and perfectionism traps as well. You just let me know, but I'm here for you. Roche, are you on our server? Because I apologize if I'm like not knowing your YouTube. Oh my god, you all are so amazing. I love doing this. Well, Roche, who are you on the server? Are you on the server? Mhm. Oh, okay, nice. Well, if you're looking for a magical and spiritual based community, you know, that I did join one through Tumblr, a Discord server. Um, this is for like, you know, spiritual people, magic people, not exclusively witchy either, but like you should check it out. Kian's an admin. Got that upgrade. Get it. But it's an awesome community, honestly. If you're looking for like a community in which there are magical and spiritual practitioners, people who are growing, curious, things of that nature. Um, Honestly, perfect. All right, y'all. So I'm gonna get ready to wind out. Oh, it's my for weekly messages. We'll see. I'll do it for different themes. Stay tuned this week. I do plan on doing another Wellness Wednesday update, and I do want to release um, um, definitely follow me on social media at Abundant Insights. If I haven't already though, the biggest way to help me right now is to like, share a long way on YouTube, especially when you started. And I'm just super duper grateful and how I risk for the month. But we can do this.